Alright, so I got a new dash cam from Akaso. I had reviewed one probably about a year ago, the Trace 1, and it ended up being my main dash cam that I use in my vehicle when I drive back and forth to work, and I don't think people realize just how important dash cams are. Unless you're knowingly doing something wrong and you don't want one, if you're a fairly good driver, I don't know why you'd run without one. They're a very good peace of mind. And this one here, Akaso sent me, is the DL12 mirror dash cam. Now, all I actually did was open the box like this and set it on here, a floating magnet, see if it would hold it. And it probably ain't gonna make it all the way around without hitting on something. Well, it did. Look at that. And not sure what this is for yet. This is as far as I got. I opened this up and looked at the actual dash cam. This goes on, of course, a mirror. And there's your camera. And plugins are all here, micro SD card, and it's got a GPS port in that. I really don't know a lot about this yet. And what I want to do is hook this up professionally to, oh boy, look at all the components, to a 2006 Chevy Silverado, see how hard it is, and give you a real world review of hooking this thing up and what a person would be up against. You got your power cord, GPS, and this is your backup camera. And I really want this hooked into there. I don't have a backup camera on my Chevy truck, so that's what we're going to do is get the directions out, get that hooked up, and test it out, and then I'll finish putting the video up. Hopefully this isn't too hard to hook up. But we're going to find out, and we'll go in depth, cover this as we go, and show you what I had to do to hook it up, and hopefully you and I will both be amazed. But I really like that Akaso. I like that Trace 1 that I'm running. I was very impressed with it. So far, it's been the only real dash cam that's held up to anything. We're going to find out what this is for. I think it came with it. So, alright, let's get rolling. Alright, I got it all hooked up. And as you can see here, I don't have an SD card in right now. That's in the house. This thing will show you miles per hour, time, the day, and the date. And I'll try going through. That's the front. There's the rear. If you swipe from right to left, you got dual mode, and then like the front mode, and then the rear mode. And if you tap the screen, you have icons right here. That's turn your sound on and off. That's take a picture. That's to start or stop record. And there's settings, and then there's the capture. If you hit that, it'll record, and it will not be written over. It's protected in case something happens. So if we go to settings, on here, you got a whole wealth of settings that are set up just great. 2K or 1080, loop record, recording your audio, your G-sensor, parking guard, which I have both of them on. What that is parking guard. If the camera is off and it feels a bump or a truck gets bumped or touched, if you probably touch if you had on high, or it'll record to a spot where it won't overwrite it. Screensaver, frequency, mirror image, which you want mirror image on for your rear camera. So like say if there's a vehicle on the left side, it shows up on there on the left side. All kinds of stuff that actually. GPS test. You can see there it gives your information. And as you'll see on the video footage, you can see your longitude and latitude in real time as you're driving and your speed. Pretty awesome. If you were to go on the left side of the screen and scroll up or down, you can change your view while you're looking. It'll record the whole thing, but on here it only shows part of it, which is more than fine. The right side of the screen right here. If I were to scroll up or down, that's how you adjust your brightness. And in the bottom of the camera, you look right up here, there's a button to shut it on and off. A little power button right here. You put it in sleep mode or parking mode. And right there's the GPS. I got that hooked up. I run the wiring up through my headliner. The GPS is right there. Wiring's all tucked in. The top of the GPS unit, I have all three wires hooked up, the GPS, power cord, and rear camera. And behind it, if I can show you, there's two rubber that wrap around your mirror and securely hold this on, which works quite well. Overall, it's just awesome. Oh, one other thing while I'm at it, that orange thing is just basically you tuck wiring in. That's all that was for. I really like this. I like it so much, I wrote them, and I'm gonna buy 2 more. This thing just sucks the light in. If you can see right there, it's just unreal. Very bright, a lot brighter than this is my Sony camera. And there's that. Look at the difference. Putting it in reverse switches to that mode, and you don't necessarily have to hook your camera up to the rear light, or the rear backup light for that to, I guess, have a rear camera. If you don't do it, you basically just have this right here, which is more than fine. This works quite well. That's the rear of the vehicle. This is extreme wide view here, but then you can adjust that, zoom in by hitting 1 through 4. That's pretty neat. I'm going to show you the rear camera where I mounted it, dust and everything, but it is waterproof. I mounted the camera right there on the bottom side of the truck on account of, in all honesty, only downfall, but this is an extended cab 4-door truck. I wish I could have mounted it over there, but I couldn't. So it goes through the bed, and right there's the only exposed wire. Goes in through the cab, goes up my header, and goes around there, around to the front. Not quite enough wire to place it into the middle of the truck. On a car, you'd have no problem, but so I have the camera mounted right here, and I ended up using self-tapping sheet metal screws versus the little ones that were there right into the metal. All I did was took this tail light off, hooked the red wire onto my backup tail light, so when that comes on, the parking part comes on. You don't necessarily even need to do that. It'll just run continuously, you know, just like if you were driving, the backup camera's on recording. It's just the backup one has the lines for guidance and a lot wider view. I was quite impressed with how easy it was to set up. It was not hard at all. It took me maybe an hour tops. I'm going to show you footage of this thing, what you can expect out of it. All right, I got the resolution turned all the way up. Got a front view and the rear view. See what it looks like when we go by some vehicles here. Pretty cool. Rear view at night, of course, there isn't much light, so it's kind of grainy. The front view, is that like almost too bright? There's a deer that just crossed the road up there. Look at how bright that is. My gosh. There's another deer. 2 more deer. I just can't get over how much light that's getting sucked in. I'm so impressed with this thing. Yeah, up if I can see starlight. Right there is Venus. You can see it plain as day. That's my actual lights, headlights doing that. Be giving them shadows. Alright, I just mounted the rear camera up on the rear brake light on the cab. As you can see there, works a lot better, right in the middle. I like that. And I did clean the windshield off. This thing really pulls the light in. I do have a rear cargo light that I can turn on. Pretty nice. This thing really lets the light in. It's just still hard to believe. You do have some graininess, but at least you're going to see everything. I've got dash cams where you can hardly see the road at night. Still, it does back it up here. Yeah, I like the rear camera a lot more up on the back on this truck, up on the cab. Like I said, under the third brake light. Alright, this is about all I had left. That orange thing was just to tuck in wiring, like in the header and that. And I might look into this. This is some kind of a club where you can get up to 50% off. These are them rubber straps back. These were the 2 screws to hold the camera on, which I didn't need that. And you can put the camera in the rear view, or in the rear window if you wanted, the rear camera. Like I said, without hooking it up to the backup light to turn on the parking mode, it'll still shine back, so pretty neat. I'm very, very impressed with it, so check that link out down below if you want to get one, and I'll throw in that code they gave me for 20% off, which is pretty awesome. So there you go. Akaso DL12 mirror dash cam. Till the next time.